Hello and welcome. I'm Katy Jo, sharing a extra transmission for you today. So welcome to joining me today. I want to take a minute actually to talk today about challenge and making ourselves wrong. So why is it that we always make ourselves wrong first, right? For compassionate people, when we view challenge as wrong, we feel like any challenge is an attack. And healers and compassionate people in particular have a dial that's usually set to make other people feel good, make it smooth, make everybody happy. And when things are not smooth, we immediately jump to, what is wrong with me? What did I do wrong? How can I fix this? How did I mess up? Am I bad? Should I stop? And what we often do is we try to show compassion by meeting other people's needs before our own needs, or jumping into alignment with their opinion and vacating our own opinion. And this can lead to burnout. It can wear on us after a while. And what I notice here is we can also get resentful. And when we are diminishing ourselves or choosing to meet others in what we perceive their needs to be and abandoning our own needs, this leads to feeling undervalued. And if you are doing healing work or coaching work, having resentment in your system is not a powerful place to deliver good medicine from, And so this goes for a lot of different things. It can go for, abandoning when we want to take appointments to accommodate other people. It can look like, changing the length of an appointment or setting a time and then running over that time because we're afraid to tell people that their time is up. It can look like changing our prices or to accommodate other people, or changing our agreements, or not charging what we want to charge because we want to be nice to other people. It can even look like the type of work we do. Like we might have a special area and somebody comes and asks us to do something that's maybe a little bit of a side gig for us. And there's a way that we don't want to say no to somebody else. So we accommodate them to keep things smooth. And then what I notice I do is shortly after that, I then convince myself for why I am okay with it when I'm actually not okay with it. And this is the thing, this is largely about boundaries and compassion. And compassion means being compassionate to ourselves as well as others. When we get resentful, we can't heal from resentment and feeling undervalued. And for an exchange to be truly valuable, it has to include both you and the client. It's not just about them, because exchange is circular. I'm chuckling at myself because I had a couple of things trigger that this week. And I noticed how, for one, of the whole spectrum of really great, beautiful things that were coming through that day, I initially clinged to the thing that bothered me the most. And then got frustrated with the fact that I was clinging to the thing that I actually didn't need to cling to. So it was like double shame. It was like clinging to this thing that had me question myself and then shaming myself for clinging to this thing. And I'm cracking up because I was calling in, I think, this experience and calling in some challenge. And what's so funny is on the same day that this happened, I got a random email that spoke exactly to the situation that I was in. And then also, I share a lot of my social media content the day of, but of course, also I schedule a lot of it because I'm not spending my whole day devoted to what I'm putting out on social media, right? So I'd actually scheduled out a handful of things in our private Facebook group, Creating Pathways. And and kind of forgot about it, and then realized that I had done a whole section around challenge and around boundaries. And it's like, so then I even got a reminder from my past self, reminding myself for my future experience. And it's like, God, you can't make this shit up, right? So yeah, so this goes for our disagreements and challenges too. What I notice is if we make our disagreements or challenges just about the other person, it isn't even. We also have to be part of the equation. And what we see and what we know has to be part of the equation. And while we're used to vacating ourselves to accommodate other people and make it smooth, sometimes we might also see that a person is in reaction, or they're in their trigger or wound. And we might see it and know it, and we might just need to allow it to be. We might just need to let it happen. Sometimes the best way to fix is to be still in the unsettled, to be full of care in reacting to other people's fears that often get projected onto us as blame. And this means giving ourselves permission to be all of us. That means we might look like the bad guy in other people's stories sometimes. But we don't actually have to get in that belief with them, right? We can actually maintain our own knowing of our perspective of the experience, have understanding for where they are without having to smooth it over, meet in the middle, or vacate ourselves and jump into their story. In the spiritual community, integrity is very important. And for compassionate people, sometimes we mistake integrity for niceness. And we abandon ourselves to accommodate others, but integrity also means being true to ourselves. With this in mind, we can view challenge as a gift instead of a bad thing, where we either make ourselves wrong or we make someone else wrong. When we avoid challenge, we tend to also avoid becoming stronger. And when we see challenge as neutral, we can strengthen ourselves instead of floating away on someone else's thoughts or opinions. And this is what I've noticed is when I am met with a challenge and I drop the frame that challenge is bad, then I usually get sent around the circle and I go all the way around my thoughts and thinking about all the things that this thing could mean. And am careful to watch that that's what I'm doing and not to get off on any of those tangents that are all of the other possibilities, and instead be able to go all the way around the circle. And then when I come back around to what I'm truly thinking and feeling and what I know is true and what is true for me, I'm able to sink deeper into that, which allows me to be stronger in my own knowing and my own experience, which allows me to deliver deeper healing work. And that is all that I have to share with you today, and an encouragement to rethink the way you see challenge. If you're a journaler, this is a great prompt for you to share experiences or remember experiences of when you've been challenged and when you vacated yourself versus experiences where you were challenged and you maintain your own belief and integrity. Thanks for joining with me today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.